Hi everybody, thank you so much for your support, and we're thinking outside of the box for Wild Eagle Club this time, so let's just get started. So you're going to be making a wreath for your door, and we've had it on our door and it's really been a lot of cheer, so this is hopefully the finished product. Now, your first stage of the straw wreath is to bring out of your bag of goodies here. The first thing you're going to do is to take all of the plastic off. So you're going to take all your plastic off there we go, off the straw ring. Okay, the first stage is to put our foliage onto the straw ring. So we've got you some fir and spruce and pine and laurel and holly. If you want to work with the holly, you might want to use gardening gloves because so you don't get a thorn. So we'll just get started. So the main thing, you're going to need your rail wire out of your bag, your brown paper bag. And the main thing to remember with this is you are always going the one direction, the same direction. And if you want your wreath to be very bushy, you want them longer, or if you want more of a neater ring with a hole in the middle, then you will go shorter. So whatever you think, and it always has to go, say, the one direction. In floristry and wreath making, they seem to talk about going in odd numbers. So you might want to go for 3 or 5 or even 1 piece of the same foliage at a time. So we'll get started first of all with your rail wire. You'll want to attach that. So we'll just get it started by doing a simple knot here. A granny knot goes through twice. And we'll put our messier bit to the back. We'll always have a back and a front. So there we go, that's us started. You can cut off our extra bit and just stick it into our straw just so it's not going to scratch our doors at all. You don't need to keep that extra bit too long because it will stick in better if it's short. We'll just get rid of that wee bit there. And we'll maybe give it a go around the ring a few times just to secure, make sure we have a strong base. Another thing to remember when starting off is with each piece of foliage, we want to go firm so it doesn't get loose, but we don't want to cut off the stem, strangle it, because if we're going to try and keep it attached to the straw, and we can spray it to keep it alive. So we shall go round just once with each piece, or maybe twice max, and say it's to be firm, yes, but it's not, we're not going to go round and round too many times for each piece. So that's us started. I'm going to go for 3 of the fir. That's a bit long for me because I'm going to try and have a hole in the middle. We'll go for 3, and then we don't really want to see our straw, obviously. I'm always going the same direction here. So we want to, you may find with the foliage we've given you, you want to forage for more, to give it a bit more density. So that's up to you, but we've given you something to give you a start there. Here we go. So we'll go for another piece. Again, I'm going for a sort of a hole in the middle. So I shall, there we go. And going round. As I say, once is recommended. I might go twice, but as I say, we'll go firm, but we'll not strangle. And we'll let some movement remain in the foliage. We don't go around too many times, and say I've stayed firm like that. But it's nice to keep that movement without wiring it too much. Just the one cover that you do firm enough. Okay. Then we'll go on to the next bit. I'm going to go for a wee bit of pine. And we go for 3 bits of pine. So we're winding round with our rail wire again. Firmly. I seem to be going for twice each time for good measure, but say whatever you think. And again, it's nice to keep that movement still of the fir in behind. There we go. That seems quite large, so I'm going to cut it. If you've secateurs, great. If not, strong scissors. But your wee secateurs will be handy. I have them for you, but sure, that's for another day. Here we go. them to go round. So that's my fir and pine. We work our way around our ring, saying sets of each tree, just to try and build our nice living base for our rings. Well everybody, as you know, I like you learning from my mistakes, and I've been continuing on round here, but you can learn from me that something that I have done wrong here are my stems are sticking out. So we've learned to feed this, we want the stems to be touching the straw because they will retain some moisture to stay alive as long as possible. However, when you're going around with your foliage, if you can stick your stems in behind the previous foliage, then they'll not be sitting out on top like mine and having contact with the straw. If you want to just, I'll give you an example. It's my next piece here. So rather than having it on top, I shall feed it underneath and make sure, even if it goes out to the back a bit, that's okay. And let's see, I'm going to do another turn around with my ruler wire, and my stem is now hidden from sight, which is far better. Okay everyone, we've got right round. And of course the best laid plans, I can tell you, I most likely did go round more than once with the reel wire each time. I didn't strangle my stems, but I think I did a wee bit of winding round and round, and I think that's okay just as long as we're aware not to cut the supply from the stems. So I did sort of go round more than I indicated at first, because I want to be firm without cutting into them. So here we are, and if you notice that you've got any wee patches need filled out a bit, does no harm to get your extra ones, and you can just whatever you want to do creatively to make your own shape that you want. I think some of my laurels may be going the wrong direction, and some of them have got flattened with the wire, so you can be aware not to bend your laurel leaves down, just be cautious with the wire. But I haven't done there, but as I say, we like you learning from my little trials. So now to finish off with the reel wire, just gone around a few times there to finish it. Then that's us finished with our reel wire. So we're going to cut that now. Once you feel you've got your shape of your base shape, if you did feel you wanted more depth to it, feel free to forage for yourself or from your own garden if you think that would be a nice idea before you cut. But I'm now happy with my shape, so I'm going to cut my reel wire now. Let's be finished with my spool. I'm going to cut that. I've gone around a few times, so I'm now going to turn to the back. This is clearly the back of it, and once I've gone around a few times, I'm going to feed it through. If you feed through twice, that's known as a granny knot. We did those with the dream catchers, just so it doesn't come loose. Tighten. If you want to do it again, another granny knot to be sure. In through twice of the standard knot. There we are. And it's quite hard to obviously tie a knot in wire, but there we go. We're not going to do a big long piece, just a short end, which is easier then to feed into a straw. It's probably as short as possible realistically. Would work better. We will feed that in, and as I did wind around a few times there before I did this. Try and get it fed into the straw. That's it, pushed in through so no doors will be scratched. Okay, now your bags. This is my therapy, making your bags up. I have been gathering your bits and pieces up for a good while, probably from September, so that's why I really wanted to get them to you. So it'll be Wild Eco Club at home. So in your goodie bag you've got lots of effects. Again, you might want to add your own pieces. I've got the fairy lights in here, but if you like, fairy lights on a wire are very effective. Mine just seem to come on themselves, not the solar powered. We battery pack and they come on every afternoon at the public. Now, pull it all out. Getting chaotic and messy, but sure you know I love that. And there's nothing too tidy with me. Bit of chaos. us is always good. Now this is going to be our best friend. This is our floristry wire. So this is how we attach our effects to our wreath. The only way, I give my tuppence first and then you decide, because it's your creativity and each one is your own. But as I said, they do talk about odd numbers for your pieces. So for example, you might want 1, 3 or 5 cones in a set at a time. How to attach them now to your wreath, I'm going to show you. So you get your floristry wire here, which is in your bag, and you make a hairpin shape. Here it is. And then you are going to attach that to your item. For example, here's a cone, pine cone. Actually, the hairpin wants to be quite big to give you plenty of room to wind. So we shall put that round our first item, which I'm choosing as a cone. Here we go, around the bottom of it, so we get the full cone sitting out. It's into the hairpin, and what I'm doing now, at the bottom of my hairpin, I am going to wind to make a little attachment device. We'll get rid of all of those wee ends sticking out, so we're, I say, not too jaggy ends, even for yourself working at this. And then all we're going to do is to stick it, find a wee, work it in to your straw, find a wee place that you can work it in. This does take a wee bit of working at, and don't be put off, because my first attempt in crocheting, Mum was with me, many of these wires were bent and we thought we must have the wrong wire, what's going wrong? I think sometimes what's happening is you maybe just hit in the ring, the metal ring. There's a wee bit of feeling involved just to get past the metal ring, which is obviously clearly on the inside. And there were some little tips, for example, you can imagine the rings in the middle. So if you go around the outside, close to the top of your straw, the top of your ring, or the inside of your ring, it seems to feed in better. You get a good hold. It then comes out the back. You just bend it over and you're feeding it back into the straw. Okay? I'll do one more at this point. So we'll take another cone. So we've got our cone. I'm going to go for 3 cones at this stage. Quite a big hairpin. There we go. And the cone end will go around the bottom of the cone, so we've plenty of the cone sticking out. We've lots of our hairpin left to wind. So we're winding. And I'm not going for the centre of the ring because I think my wire will bend and I'll not get through. So I'm going to go in a wee cluster of 3 here, and I'm going to try and go near the top of the straw to try and have more of a chance of getting through. And that's me through. Just show you at the back here. The back's we never worry about the back of a tapestry, the back of a work. Sure, we don't what goes on behind the scenes is something different to what we put forward, isn't it? So here we come out the back. Here's our wire appearing out, and as I've gone quite close to the top, I think it's a good tip rather, to let your wire get through. We're bending it over, and we are just feeding it back into the straw. So we're not going to have scratch doors. I could have gone in further there, so we'll adjust that, and we'll stick in further into the straw. And that's 2. We'll do a 3rd one now. Okay, so I've got my 3 cones on there. There they are. So I'm going to go around a wee bit further now. I'll try another effect. I'm thinking maybe 3 or 5 of the cinnamon sticks. So we'll give an idea of how to get them on. I'm sure you can guess. We're going to go with our floristry wire again. Hairpin, quite a deep hairpin I'm finding is working best. There we go. I'm just going to go right through. You might have different ideas if I want to go around the bottom. But I'm just going to go right through. I'm going to put my little wind into the back. Clearly a prettier side of it. So put my wind in, wind right round. There we are. Again, I'm finding quite close to the top is working best. That's me through to the back. Show you the back there. There's my wire peering out the back. So I'll give it a good firm tug to make sure it's sitting out, it's not dangling down. Firm tug. We're bending our wire at the back and we're just sticking right back in there to our straw. And I'm going to try 3 of those again. Okay, so I've got my pine cones on and my cinnamon sticks. For the final cinnamon stick, I actually went down to the bottom of the straw, so I'm taking it that was beneath the wire ring. I went down through the bottom quite close to the centre and just placed it in around the bottom, and because it's on wire I'm able to bend, so just bend that one down. You can bend them a wee bit in the position that you would like. Now I'm going to go on around a wee bit further. Again, these stems are visible, but hopefully you'll be able to feed them through as you go around your ring. I think I'm going to go for my orange slices now. So we're going to, these came from Macara. So same method, we're going to go for a hairpin. We're going to go into our wee orange slices. We are winding round. Here we go. The holly definitely, have to be careful around that holly. There we go. The holly definitely was a wee bit jaggy, but that's okay. Jaggy holly, it's all part of it, isn't it? So I'm going to go up around the top. Here's my orange slice coming out. I'm realising now how to get through my straw ring, go into the top or the bottom, clear it, and then we're out the back. There we go. I'm going to bend that into a position that I'm happy with. There's my wire out the back, so I've gone around the top as you can see, bending my wire straight back into my straw, and I've maybe actually done my hairpin too far down the wire this time. It's sitting out too far, but I'll just have to work with that, work with my wire, bend it in. So we can see, you can learn from me, the orange slices that you don't need as deep a hairpin. And there we are, folded it back a wee bit. With the wire we can always have a wee bit of adjustment, but maybe a smaller hairpin for the slices. Okay, so I've got on my pine cones, cinnamon sticks and orange slices. You'll find some more effects in your goodie bags, so I'm going to go now for berries. You've probably got the gist by now, so I'll not bend your ears too much, just to give you an idea. You have these in. Discovered with the orange slices, didn't need as deep a hairpin as the pine cones and cinnamon sticks, so we'll do a shorter wee hairpin. Go in wherever you can find. I'm thinking around the middle of the berries. We're winding. Get a good wind on. This is our attachment to keep things firm. We don't want things getting drippy. Here we go. And you've realised the tip by now, which is going to the top or the bottom of the straw ring. There it comes out the back. There's my wire coming out the back. There it comes. I'm going to hold my berries nice and tight. I didn't actually mean to go as close as that to the back round now to my pine cones. Must be my second lip round. Here's my wire out the back. That seems a bit long. I'm going to get my secateurs. You might have scissors, craft scissors or just scissors. I'll see if that can just snip it. And we will fold over and we shall just push that wire straight back into our straw. The straw can take that. Just be careful because I'm getting jagged here with my holly. We'll find a wee spot. I think I'm hitting my ring there. So there we go. So I just juggle around till you find a wee spot. We take our time, don't we? And then it's luckily the wire bends, so you can use your creativity to position your effects. As some of you that follow the group would know, there's a wee bit of inspiration for the wreaths from friends who contacted me in September talking about doing a wreath together as I was thinking of a festive candle. So this is a challenge for me and it's been really enjoyable to learn how to do this. The robin that I saw out in Brisbane was a great inspiration, and of course you all have wee robin in your goodie bags, everyone who has subscribed to come to the club, and you know how much I appreciate that. I think the key things of Wild Eco Club has been it's getting into nature, it's good for the mind, and just the joys in the process with a beautiful result. So all I can do is thank you all so much. This wreath is going to my mum for a door in Brisbane, and it's dedicated to my dad, and I'll see him shortly. So you've got your little robins, they are going to be attached, I would imagine, just in position, somewhere you think would be good. Some of them are already on a wire, so I'm sure you can guess they're going to be fed through your straw, wherever you want it. It's coming out at the back, my wire's coming out at the back, it's going to be fed through my straw again. Here we go. We're just going to be thorough until the end, make sure there's no scratch doors about. And there we go. Now, just to finish off, if you would like to put what we did, what I did just to finish this one, Ro helped me with it, was attach just a little piece of hemp or hessian just to the top in a knot to make a loop. Then just in the local hardware store they had a hanger for the door, which we can then attach this to the door. We've added just a wire string of fairy lights that have a battery pack that just come on themselves in the evening time. Thanks so much.